Well, hello there. I thought I would finally continue with my bookshelf video series, and the first video was about my, hold a second, well, the last video was about my Finnish comics, and so now I thought I would continue with some English comics that I have, and also I do have some Swedish comics here as well. I'm gonna focus on like comic book. I think you could call these, or you would call these graphic novels. I don't like the term graphic novel, so I just call everything comics. But yeah, I'll go through this, and I also have something on the lower shelf. Yeah, I will make a separate video of my manga. I have a lot of manga in English and also some zines, but those will be their own video. But yeah, let's get started with this. Like I mentioned in the earlier video, please don't don't mind my logic with organizing comics. There are also some manga here. I just basically organize my bookshelf with publisher and the size of the books, because I have very limited space with my bookshelf here. But yeah, let's get this tarot deck out of the way, and we'll start here. These are the Sandman comics. These are probably my favorite comics of all time, the Sandman. This one here is Overture. This is like a prequel to the original Sandman comics that were published in 1990s. I think this came out pretty recently, just a few years ago, I think. But yeah, this is very beautiful, insanely beautiful art. But I don't maybe like the story as much as in the original Sandman comics, but the art itself is really inspiring. And then I have 10 volumes of the Sandman, the original Sandman. What could I say about this? I just really like the stories. These are written by Neil Gaiman. So yeah, the stories are excellent. The characters are amazing. I love the characters, especially the Endless. I would say if you want to get into the Sandman, please just power through the first volume. The art in the first volume, I don't like it at all. But this whole series has multiple artists, so art style varies a lot. My favorite volume is the 9th one, which is called The Kindly Ones. My online nickname, Kindly Annie, comes from this comic book. I really like this one, and I like the art of Mark Hempel a lot. So that's the Sandman, my beloved. I also have Neverwhere graphic novel based on the book Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere. I really liked the book. I read it ages ago, and I also got this comic ages ago, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. It has a lot of problems, but I don't know, I just have it. Then we have a bunch of comics from Image Comics. I have a couple of volumes of Shudder. I don't know what to say about this. The art style and the story were pretty interesting, but maybe not enough so that I would have kept buying the rest of the comic. It's pretty fun and quirky and exciting. Maybe I will get the rest someday. But now for now I just have the first 2 volumes. It has lots of interesting characters, and definitely a lot happens. Maybe I will one day get back to it. Now I have just tons of other comics I would like to collect as well. Then I have the first volume of Isola. This is also a fantasy comic. It has a soldier and also I think a queen who has been turned into a tiger. It's like an adventure comic. I really like the art in this one. It's really beautiful. But the only problem I have this one is the sound effects that don't make any sense. You can't really read them. They look like they are like Japanese characters maybe, but they don't make sense, and that annoys the hell out of me. So that's why I haven't continued collecting this. I don't know what to feel about this one. So I just have this for now. If the sound effects or whatever effects don't bother you, then I definitely recommend this. Then I have the first volume of Beach Planet. It's an interesting one. It's about like a prison planet for women who don't fit into a very specific role for women in this dystopian future. I guess it's pretty rough, but also entertaining and interesting. But I feel I need very specific headspace or mental, I don't know, mood to read something like this. So that's why I only have 1 volume of this as well. Maybe I'll get more in the future. Then I have the first volume of Kill 6 Billion Demons. This one is interesting as well. Very complicated and detailed. It has interesting story, interesting art style and characters, but it is also a lot. To put it simply, every page has a lot of details. It has a lot of text, lots of reading. It really takes a lot of time to get through this. But I do like this a lot. I have the second volume in my reading queue shelf, and I think there is also volume 3 and volume 4 maybe out already, but yeah, this also I need to have a certain kind of mood to read this. So definitely recommend if you like fantasy stuff with heaven and hell and demons and gods, and yeah, it's a lot, but definitely entertaining. Then I have 9 volumes of Saga. I think this is one of the most well-known series from Image Comics. It's like a sci-fi fantasy story, sort of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of a story adventure. It has also been published in Finnish, so yeah, it's pretty popular. There are currently 9 volumes available. It was on a break for a long while, but we recently got some news that it is continuing next January. I'm really looking forward to that. I like this series a lot. Then I have 9 volumes of The Wicked and the Divine. It's a completed series from Image. This also has like gods. Well, I will just read the back of volume 1. Every 90 years 12 gods return as young people. They are loved, they are hated. In 2 years they are all dead. It's happening now, it's happening again. So the gods are like young idols. There's some violence, there's some other adult stuff happening. It has queer representation and inclusive cast. It has a good story. Very, very good series. Definitely recommend. Then I have a few books from Dark Horse. I have the first volume of Harrow County. which is like a horror comic. It's been a while since I read this, so I can't really remember what this all is about. The art style, I really like it. Very inspiring. The characters and everything that happens in this is really interesting. I want to continue collecting this at some point, definitely, but it's not on the top of my list at the moment. So now I just have the first volume. Then I have the first 2 volumes of Critical Role, Vox Machina Origins. It bothers me so fucking much that they don't match the books. This is hardcover, the first one, and then I have the soft cover of the second one. I really like the cover of this second volume. It's so nice. But yeah, I'm a massive fan of Critical Role, so of course I had to get the comics. Still waiting for the third volume. Then I have this Dulan dog, Mater Morbi comic. I didn't really know much about this when I got this. It just looks really pretty. Then I read this and the story is boring. It's I don't know, I really don't like the female characters in it, or like it's just so, I don't know, generic and whatever. But the art is pretty, so that's why I still have this, just to have like an art comic inspiration or whatever. But yeah, I can't really recommend this for the story. Then I have one comic from Vault, and that's Money Shot, which is well, it's a group of scientists going on a journey through space to have sex with aliens and monetize it, so to get funds for their for their science work. Just fun times. Very lighthearted, and it's an interesting concept, so if it sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. I think there's also volume 2 of this out already, so maybe I'll get that at some point as well. Then I have some Marvel comics. As I've mentioned before, I haven't really read a lot of Marvel comics before. They weren't like easily available for me when I was younger, so I just recently gotten more into the Marvel comics, maybe also because of the movies. So I've just collected more recently published comics, and I have a lot of Doctor Strange comics. I think I mentioned in my latest vlog that Doctor Strange is one of my favorite characters from Marvel. I really like the magic stuff, magic elements. One thing I hate about this is that the, what do you call it, spine? I have like 2 series of Doctor Strange, and some of the spines are just, they don't match, they doesn't make sense, so just really annoyed by that. It makes it confusing. But I have a couple of series of Doctor Strange and like Sorcerer's Supreme story thing. I also have the Strange Academy First Class Volume 1. Maybe I should switch it over here, but yeah. I also talked about it in my latest vlog in What the Hell Did I Just Read segment. If you want to hear my opinions on it. It was alright, but I don't think I will be collecting more of it anytime soon. And then I have the complete X-Men Legacy. I think I got this around the time that the first season of Legion came out, because it's based on this character. I think I heard of these comics somewhere because of the series, so I got this around the same time when the first season came out. I really enjoyed this. I enjoy the character, and I really like these covers and the art and the characters. And then I have 5 volumes of Miss Marvel, which I thought was really like refreshing and different from other Marvel superheroes. So Miss Marvel is a story of Kamala Khan, who is a Muslim girl from New Jersey and becomes a superhero. I just really enjoy reading about, well, her as a character, as a superhero, and also her family and friends and the people around her. It's really cute and funny and entertaining and interesting, but I haven't collected it in a long time. I think there are a lot of other volumes still. Then I have 1 volume of America, which is, well, the life and times of America Chavez, and she's a character from earlier Marvel Comics Young Avengers, which I have read through Marvel's online service. What is it called? I don't remember. Unlimited or something. I read a bunch of Young Avengers there, and so America is one of the characters from those comics that I really liked her, and then she got her own series. Well, then I have the Strange Academy, and then I have Skydoll, which is published by Marvel for some reason. This I have had for the longest time. It's basically just boobs in space. It has a lot of boobs. I haven't read this in ages. I just have it for, I don't know, it's an interesting book in itself. I don't know, maybe I should reread this and see what I think about it now. Yeah, I don't know if I can recommend it to anyone. If you like boobs, I guess. These are in Swedish. These are, or they have comics from Anneli Furmark, who is a relative of mine. So I've been given most of these. This I think I bought at Helsinki Comics Festival. Anneli was there as a guest 1 year, so they printed like a part of her comic in Finnish. So this is what I have. It's Punainen talvi or Red Winter or Den röda vintern. Here it is in Swedish. So I have those 2. I guess I could just put this here so they're together. Then I have From the Shadow of the Northern Lights. This is a Swedish anthology, but it's in English. I haven't looked this in ages. And yeah, this is an anthology, but this also has a comic by Anneli Furmark. So yeah, I have this one. And then another anthology, Den svarta katten or The Black Cat. So this is stories of Edgar Allan Poe in comic format. So this is by Anneli Furmark, and yeah, I like Edgar Allan Poe, so this is a nice book to have in my collection as well. And the rest here are manga, so I will talk about those in my manga video. Welcome to shelf number 2. These are here because they are smaller and they don't fit anywhere else. I put my BL manga over here because of recent book Tetris. I will talk about those later in a separate video. But let's continue our tour here. I have 3 volumes of the Adventure Zone comics. If you don't know, the Adventure Zone is a podcast by the McElroys, and these are the first campaign called Balance, if I remember correctly. I had kind of a tough time getting into the podcast at first, but the further I listened to it, the more it got more interesting and less just assing around. I really like the story. I like the comics. They tell the story in a very entertaining way. I think there are more volumes. I haven't collected it in a while, so I have only the first 3 right now. Also, these are mostly by the second publisher. Next we have Are You Listening by Tilly Walden. I really enjoyed this book as well. I have also talked about this in a blog before, so maybe if I can find it I will link it in this video. I really like the art style. The story was a little bit confusing, but I still enjoyed it. Definitely recommend this as well. It's a road trip, kind of like finding yourself journey, kind of cozy, kind of spooky. Then we have this one, Summer, by Gillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki. Let me move the camera a little bit. There. I also talked about this in a previous vlog, and I mentioned I wasn't really sure what to think about this. It kind of feels nostalgic. I don't know. I really like the art style though. It's less exciting and more just vibing, I guess. Just like trying to figure yourself out when you are young. Something like that. Then we have Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. This is one of my favorite comics as well. This is really beautiful. I really like Rosemary Valera O'Connell's art style. It's your generic teenage drama, but with a queer twist. This is like girl love story. Very soft and beautiful little story. Then I have a few comics by Jen Wang. This is actually a collaboration with Cory Doctorow and Jen Wang. A lovely graphic novel for gamer girls of all ages. This like mixes real life and fantasy adventure game. I haven't read this in a while, so I don't really remember much of this. I should reread this at some point. Then I have Coco Be Good that I actually bought from my friend. Jen Wang was actually one of my first webcomic inspirations. They had a webcomic years and years ago, which I really liked, and then they stopped drawing it. And years later, I found this book in my friend's bookshelf and was like, wait, Jen Wang? They're still making comics? So I was super excited about that, and my friend sold me this book. They were like, you can take it. I haven't read this in years. I'm not really sure what this was about. I remember that this Coco character is very chaotic, and I wasn't really a big fan of that, but I'm a fan of Jen Wang, so that's why I have this book. Then more recent Jen Wang comics, The Prince and the Dressmaker. This is also one of my favorite comics. I really love this one. So it's a story about a dressmaker who ends up running into a prince who also loves to dress as a girl and go out partying, and he kind of commissions the dressmaker to make him the most fabulous and out there dresses to wear. And it's a really cute story, and I love the art style in this. It's very cozy. I definitely recommend if you love cute stories. Then I also have Stargazing, which is I think latest comic of Chen Wang. I think this is probably more for more younger audience. It's an interesting look into Asian American life and what it's like to be a child in that kind of setting. It's a cute and touching story, but yeah, not my favorite, but I still have it here. And then next to Jen Wang, I have a couple of comics by Faith Erin Hicks, who also was one of the first webcomic inspirations of mine. So I'm really happy that they're still making comics. So I have the first volume of The Nameless City, which is a fantasy story. It's been a while since I read this. It's like a story of two kids from different kind of backgrounds. And yeah, lots of drama happening. There's also at least volume 2. I'm not sure if there's more of this. And then I also have The Friends with Boys. High school is hard enough without a ghost in town. It has some ghosts and haunting and family drama and high school drama. Cute story, nothing super exciting, but it has a nice like a ghost twist. I still like Faith Erin Hicks art style. I also have Viimeinen-ilta or Pumpkinheads, which is drawn by Faith Erin Hicks and written by Rainbow Rowell. I got this very recently, so yeah, I have this in my Finnish comics shelf over there. I guess that's it. I don't know if I should talk about these books here or in a manga video. These are My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness by Nakata Kabi. Basically manga, but for more mature audience. So I don't know. Maybe I'll save these for another time. Maybe I'll talk about those with the rest of my adult manga. That's all for now. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. If you found anything interesting in my bookshelves, leave this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!